Dr. Martin Luther King was the essential element in the transformation of the country.
He tried to help African Americans, and it was something that changed our world.
It was something that I grew up knowing.
The words and leadership of Dr. King inspired me.
We were fortunate to have one just when we needed him.
Well, the third Monday in January is a federal holiday in the United States celebrating the birthday of civil rights activist and Nobel Peace Laureate Martin Luther King Jr. This year, the holiday has special meaning for many after the events of recent months in Ferguson, Missouri and New York City. VOA's Joy Wagner has more.
If he were alive today, what would Martin Luther King say about the deaths of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, and Eric Garner in New York City, both unarmed and killed in confrontations with police, and about the anger and demonstrations that have followed?
Because I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
King's famous I Have a Dream speech, delivered during the 1963 March on Washington, was an iconic event in the struggle to end racial segregation and establish equal rights for all citizens of the United States. Last month, there was another March on Washington. Tens of thousands of demonstrators in the nation's capital called for justice in the deaths of Michael Brown and Eric Garner. This demonstration was peaceful. And Martin Luther King's niece, Alveda King, whose father, A.D. King, was also a civil rights activist, suggested the violent protests in Ferguson, when a grand jury did not indict the police officer involved in Brown's death, was not the right approach.
Back up.
How y'all doing, officer?
She called the Ferguson protest slogan, "No justice, no peace," aggressive, and said only peaceful protests can lead to any positive results, recalling the day in 1963 that her own home was bombed.
I remember my daddy standing on a car, AD, and the people wanted to do just what they did in Ferguson. The people were trying to turn over a police car, they wanted to throw rocks, and they were just trying to be very violent. And I remember Daddy standing on a car. There's a photograph of AD standing on a car with a megaphone with a young man. And he says, "Don't riot. Don't be violent. My family and I are okay. Please go home and pray."
Some critics of the protests suggest the demonstrations have created animosity towards police and may have led to the killing of 2 New York City police officers, Rafael Ramos and Wenzing Liu. But one of the positive things to emerge is a peaceful discussion about racial discrimination that's taking place in social media.
So when I see the hashtag Black Lives Matter, I believe Black lives from conception in the womb until natural death, the sick, the elderly, the young, the old, the educated, those who need things in communities, all Black lives and all human lives matter.
In honor of this holiday, parades are organized in many cities and hymns are sung in churches across the country. Americans, including the president and his family, take part in community projects aimed to bring Americans together. Alveda King says that this was her uncle's dream, to see this nation peaceful and united.
I'm going to let it shine, oh, this little light of mine. I'm going to let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm going to let it shine.
Joy Wagner for Anush Avetisyan, VOA News, Washington.